Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to another answer and reply video. I am falling a little bit behind, about 11 days behind here. So I want to keep this video under 1 hour, preferably, and I want to get through as much as I can. So let's go back to where I left off in the previous answer and reply video. Comment from AU in regards to money flows. Money seems to be flowing out of every sector or every other sector and piling into materials. Tech is especially weak, which is ridiculous considering NASDAQ and saying tech, Nikkei pretty much powering ahead. Very frustrating if you hold big in tech and underexposed to materials. And there was a reply from Liam Jones. NDQ is still steady at its all-time high. How is Takeovers? In fact, now this is 11 days ago, so maybe things have changed a little bit. But you can go to, say, market index, and they do have all the sectors, and you can look at day, week, month, year to date, and 50-week, 2-week changes. And I think you might be surprised, AU, because if we look at the 2024 year to date, IT is up 25.9%, while materials is actually one of the worst performing sectors so far in 2024, down 7.35%, just ahead of telecommunications. If you just focus on the last month, IT is still up, best performing sector, up 5.4%. And materials, it is in the green, 0.5, but definitely not the best performing sector on the ASX in the past month. And let's have a look at the last 52 weeks. IT up almost 20%, and materials up 4.8%. And hopefully you haven't your money in staples and telecommunications and even healthcare. A pretty bad year will last 52 weeks anyway. So I'm not sure why you are thinking that money seem to be flowing out of every sector and into materials, even if you have a look at some of the commodities. So let's have a look at some of the commodities here. Let's have a look. Gold's doing really well. You have to admit that, but there has been a little bit of pullback. This is the weekly chart, by the way. Gold's doing really well. Copper has been doing really well, but a pretty bad couple of weeks so far, and it has been a bit of a pullback there. And I think there are a lot of commodities doing well, but oil is not doing well. Oil is sort of going sideways. And what's the other one? Iron ore is fairly important for us. And where is iron ore here? Is it further up the top? I'm pretty sure I've gone straight past it. Oh, there it is, FEF. And iron ore is just sort of, I'd say it is volatile on a weekly basis, up and down, but no real trend when it comes to iron ore just by looking at the weekly chart. So I'm not sure everyone's piling into materials. Materials is risky because you just don't know what's going to happen to the future price of a commodity. So there is a risk. There is a risk. What's the word I was going to put there? There is a risk involved in piling your money into commodities. Who knows? Copper could halve in price in the next few weeks. You just don't know. Look at cocoa. Cocoa is extraordinarily volatile right now. Here's cocoa. Cocoa has gone off the charts, and since the high we saw about 2 months ago, lots of volatility in cocoa. And this just shows you the problems with commodities. Miners are price takers. They have no control over the price of commodity they're selling, and they just have to go with the flow. That's all she wrote when it comes to mining companies. I don't mind short-term plays, short to medium-term plays with mining companies, but I would never, ever buy and hold a mining company for the long term, apart from maybe, just maybe, BHP. So thank you, AU and Liam Jones, for your comments. Soxios, just found you and appreciate learning from you. Could you please explain how you view mergers and takeovers in general, please? I have 3 I'm nervous about. MRM, which is MA Offshore Red 5, and AWC. I don't know much about AWC. Let's have a look at AWC. What is AWC? Oh, I've got to log in first. AWC. Oh, Illumina, of course, Illumina. I'm not sure why you would be nervous about takeovers. Typically, takeovers are good because the share price or the price a company is willing to take over another company should be high. There should be a premium. You just have a look at MMA Offshore. Share price was a little bit higher. The takeover bid was a little bit higher than the share price was when they announced the takeover. That's why the share price has rallied. Right now, the share price is a little bit above where the takeover bid is. at $2.60. So I actually was trading MA offshore. I was holding on, and I just didn't understand what was going on, why the share price was higher than takeover bid. For me, that meant there were parts of the market who thought the takeover bid would fail, but they could be wrong. So I decided to take my profits with MA offshore. And what's the other one? AWC. I mean, share price of AWC or Lumina has taken off. Yeah, so it seems like that's a beautiful uptrend. And what's the other one? Red. I'm pretty sure this one is, there's a merger between Red 5 and what's the other one? Red 5 and is it Silver Lake? Yeah, Silver Lake. So I don't know why you'd be nervous about takeovers or mergers and takeovers, because if you are owning a company that is being taken over, more than likely you will see some short-term benefits. Now, longer term, maybe you might hate the takeover of your company because you think it has long-term potential. If you're owning a company that is taking over another company, that's another story. There have been numerous cases where companies have taken over another company and has not gone well for the company and shareholders. In fact, research has shown the bigger a company is, the less likely a takeover will be beneficial for shareholders. So keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah. And what I do, if I do own a company that is being taken over, most of the times I will take profits. I will sell out of the company because many times the takeover bid gets pulled or does not go to completion, and the share price drops. In fact, I have taken advantage of that in the past and bought into companies that I were a holder. There was a takeover bid, I sold out, and then the takeover bid fell through, and then I bought back in later on at a much lower price. But the other thing you might miss if you do that sort of strategy is you might miss any sort of competition, any sort of competing bids, and the share price could rally on the back of that. So no reason to be nervous if you're owning a company that is being taken over. Possibly, if you're owning a company that is taking over another company, there is reason to be nervous, particularly if it's a bigger company. So thank you. Oh, Adrian just mentioned President of Iran was killed in a helicopter crash 11 days ago, and the world has forgotten about that. So nothing's come of that. I was a little bit concerned that it could have been sort of a catalyst for Iran blaming Israel. And even when I say concerned, very slight concern, but nothing's transpired for that. So you can just say sometimes a little bit of fear can drive your nervousness in the very short term, and nothing comes from that fear. So there's no reason to be fearful about any incidents like this. Kneppy, have you looked at ELF's chart? Good uptrend with more payback. What is ELF? What is ELF? ELF Beauty? ELF. What? I'm pretty sure this is a typing error. ELF Beauty, ELF. I can't see any ELFs here. ASX. I have no idea what ELF is. As maybe something to do with this video. Nuix, Gentrack, Star, Global Centers. I don't know. Jay Chong, who is ELF? Is it the movie ELF? Maybe there's a chart in the movie ELF with Will Ferrell. Nuix back to life. Dotage Train. Yes, Nuix is. Well, I wouldn't say it was not. Oh, when you have a look at the chart for Nuix, it's had a life for quite a while now. So this is the daily chart for Nuix. And in fact, the shift in sentiment is quite obvious when you look at this chart. Share price in a downtrend. And we started to see a shift in sentiment and the trend of share price started 2023. And I was trading this. In fact, I took a trading position back in July of last year when the share price was just above $1. And I should have taken profits. I should have just maintained my position. It would have been a three-bagger, but I've gone back to trading Nuix now because of their most recent announcement they released whenever that was, like a week ago, 10 days ago. What date was that? The 20th of May. I have taken a trading position in Nuix because the chart looks pretty good. I think maybe there is an argument that Nuix is overvalued and a lot of the positiveness is already priced in. Market cap is approaching $1 billion. So there is that argument, but I'm just going to gnaw my bias against this company and say, the chart looks good, just play the chart or trade the chart. So Nuix, not necessarily back to life, but definitely looking really bullish right now. Liam Jones, wish I did take, oh, okay, talking about Star Entertainment, 40 cents. When the time's right, they're going to be very nice climb. Hopefully the Brisbane opening kicks things off. Yeah. Also, don't forget Bruce Matheson, one of the biggest names in the gambling industry, has increased his holdings to 10% during the recent low points. I do think you have a point, Liam, that I think there will be a point. Maybe I should use a different word. There will be a time when Star looks absolutely cheap. Definitely in hindsight, we'll look back and go, oh, Star looked absolutely cheap. There's still negative sentiment in Star right now. And we know there's negative sentiment by just looking at the chart. And even when the share price rallied, oh, apparently I just did 10,000 steps, just waving my arms around. Even though the share price rallied, what date was the 20th of May, which is probably, look back here, yeah, 20th of May. I mentioned Star in that video, the 20th of May, which I'm recording this on the 1st of June. Even though the share price rallied, what was it, 14% on that day? That was not a breakout. 20% on that day. That was not a breakout because there's still a lot of negative sentiment and still a lot of shareholders bought at higher prices. And because of those shareholders who bought at higher prices, they want to sell. So we have to, or there has to be clean out of all those shareholders before the share price can turn around. And we can see what has happened to Star Entertainment Group after that. Share price has dipped all the way back down to where the share price began, or where the share price was before that announcement. So that's just what happens when there's negative sentiment. So I think there is an argument to say that Star Entertainment Group is cheap right now, but negative sentiment is maintaining a lid on the share price. Unless the company releases a really powerful, strong announcement, I think the share price or that negative sentiment will keep a lid on the share price. And we just don't know how low the share price can go. So what I would do with Star is just be patient and wait. Now, buying a share at 40 cents, it might be okay. That could be near the low we see for Star Entertainment Group. And I think you just have to be patient moving forward. That's the way I would play Star Entertainment Group right now. Definitely on my watch list, and I just want to wait. Because there has been times in the past. I took a trade position in Star back on the 11th of August. Share price rallied 17.9%. I thought maybe this will be the shift in sentiment. It wasn't. And the share price fell below where the share price was the previous day in about 2 or 3 weeks after that. They did capital raising. Maybe they've done 2 capital raisings and a few negative announcements since then. And the chart still looks pretty ugly, but possibly the bottom has been reached, just possibly this stage. So, I mean, buying at 40 cents sounds, I think, might be okay. But for me, I just want to be patient and I just want to wait until I get verification that things are turning around for the company. Fishball says, OFX Group, Breakout, check it out. I don't have to check it out because I've actually taken a trading position in OFX Group. I reckon you should do a few videos on housing. That always gets some views and attention. We'd love to hear some ranting on it too. You don't want me to rant about housing because, yeah. And I think this comes back to, in my opinion, financial education should be taught. It should be mandatory in school. And if it's mandatory in school, much less people would be buying, investing, or property investing, or investments in property investing. For me, it's not a good investment. I have a house that I own. That's my foot in the door when it comes to housing. And I'd like to be diversified with my other investments. And I just like equities over property because it's much more liquid and you can get better returns. History shows you can get better returns. And I actually talked about this with someone. Look at all the richest people in the world. How did they become rich? Not through property, but through growing companies. That's where you get rich, by investing in companies, not in property. That's just my views. Now, there are some tax benefits from investing in property, and a lot of politicians are highly invested in property. That's why property will always be propped up by the government, because politicians only care about one thing, themselves. And I've always thought they only care about 2 things, themselves and their party. But the reason they care about the party is because themselves. They want to get re-elected, and that's it. Politicians don't care about the country at all. They don't care about the property market except for one reason. They're in it and they want to prop it up to maintain their wealth. So that's one of the reasons why investing in property could be a good thing, because we know the government is always going to prop up the property market, they're always going to put in initiatives that sound like it's going to be beneficial for first home buyers, but it's not. It's beneficial for themselves, not really beneficial for first home buyers. We need politicians who care about the country first. Unfortunately, those who would care about the country first will never get into politics because you need that ambition to run for politics. That's the big flaw with our political system. Those you want to be in power will never get into power. Those you don't want to be in power always get into power. I have zero time for politicians, zero time. They don't care about anything but themselves. And for anyone who loves Donald Trump, again, perfect example of someone who only cares about one person, himself. Anyway, rant over. Oh, and OFX Group. OFX Group. And the chart, the chart actually looks really good. Beautiful breakout. I have traded this company in the past, and I'm back in. You don't have to hold a company for the long term. In fact, I've still got it here, buy $1.33, way back in May 2021. And that was the start of a beautiful uptrend, took my profits, and the share price dipped all the way back down to almost $1.33. Yeah. Didn't take a position here because it didn't break out. Now it's broken out, looks like. A little bit higher share price when I bought back in then, but it's okay. And share price keeps on running. A beautiful looking chart for OFX Group. Thank you, Fishball, and thank you for mentioning something that made me rant. John's channel says, can you do one on RSG? One on what? Do you think it has broken out? Now it's above 50 cents. Okay, so let's have a look at RSG. This is Resolute Mining. I'm pretty sure it's Resolute Mining. I'm going to get one of these wrong in the future where I think it's a code. Maybe I've already got one wrong, where I will get one wrong. Oh, this chart looks nice. It does look nice, doesn't it? There I've got a line at the most recent high, not the recent high, the highs we saw back in May 2023, and it's gone above that. So even though we did see a little bit of weakness in my gold, we haven't seen that weakness in Resolute Mining. I'm going to look at some other gold charts just to see if most of these gold companies charts look good. So let's start off with Evolution Mining. So I prefer Resolute over this one. What about Gold Road? Well, definitely Resolute over that. Northern Star, definitely prefer Resolute over this. Perseus looks okay, but not as good as Resolute. Red 5, I'm pretty sure this one looks okay. Nice little dip, sort of mirroring gold. That looks pretty good. One I am trading now, Ramelius. We saw a bit of a dip because of shenanigans with Westgold. That has dips, but I do think Resolute looks better than that. What's RL? This one is Regis. That doesn't look good at all. St. Barbara released something negative a few days ago. Silver Lake looks pretty good. And Westgold, it's taken off. Well, not really. And West African looks pretty good as well. I like West African. If I had to choose between all those companies, and that's not all of them, there's a few others I've not included. Capricorn, no. Orabanda looks actually pretty good. What else? EMR, what's Emerald? That looks pretty good. And what else? I'm missing quite a few here. De Grey. It's really interesting when you do listen or watch Ausbiz the Core. De Grey has been mentioned numerous times in the past year, and I had never had it on my watch list because it wasn't in production. Then I had a look at the chart and went, why are they so enamored with this company? Just by looking at the chart, it looks really weak, De Grey. And there's a few other ones. Spartan Resources looks pretty good too. This looks spectacular. I don't know anything about Spartan Resources. So Resolute actually does not look bad. It looks pretty good. One of the best looking gold charts on the ASX. Awesome vid. Thank you. I've got a thank you. Mutajisarif. Okay. This is when sore throat. What didn't have a sore throat? It was something weird. I don't know. It wasn't a sore throat. I wasn't getting sick or anything. I know what you're talking about. So David Ray says, for the sore throat, Bliss Prebiotic, and a New Zealand company to reports tomorrow. Great products, but I always use when I'm run down. Worse to treat, but terrible company that I own. Bliss Prebiotic. I've never heard of this. Bliss Bliss, is it Bliss Technologies? If that is that, then that looks ugly. Anyway, I don't know. Never heard of Bliss Prebiotic, but thank you for your comment. I've never heard of this product. Maybe it's not in Australia. No idea. Why am I pressing that? Ugh, I need a break. Gazmo or Gaz0 got a mention. Oh, that's right, because he said, no, I had no mention of materials because I had a really good day. Kneppy, can you do a deep dive in Parkway Corp, ticker code PWN? Okay, let's do it. Let's have a look at Parkway Corporation, a company I know absolutely nothing about. Parkway Corporation, first thing I'm going to do, so according to this is materials. So what shall I do? How should I do this? Parkway Corporation. Here it is. In fact, I'm going to have a see if they've released any. Okay, first thing is share price is below 1 cent. So that's a massive red flag for me. Recently did a couple raising. Let's have a look to see if they've got any cash. And I'm going to see if they've just made an acquisition. Okay. Make an acquisition of a company called Tankweld Group. Now, this could be a company changing acquisition. I don't know. So let's have a look at the most recent Appendix 4C. Of course, it's going to take ages to open up. Okay. In fact, they're talking about this transformational acquisition. They're talking about it. Leading industrial engineering solutions company. I'm just going to see if this company is operating cash flow positive or anything like that. I don't think it is. Receives customers 1.3 million. And they were operating cash flow positive through the help of government grants and tax incentives. But if you take that away, they were barely operating cash flow negative. So they're not burning through a lot of cash. So let's have a look at this acquisition because they've called it transformational. And what does this company do? So easy way to see what a company does is you can go to their website, have a look at any sort of announcement. They should have an about section here. So Parkway Corporate is an Australian clean tech company focused on developing and implementing industrial scale innovative water treatment solutions. Now, there are a few of these companies on the ASX, SciDev, and there's another one that I was looking at the other day. So there are quite a few of these companies on the ASX. And it is an emerging company is emerging as an innovative player in water-related sustainability solutions. They have 4 core business units: Parkway Process Solutions, Primary Operating Division, and a provider of industrial water treatment products. Process Technologies, Technology Development, Acquisition and Commercialization Division. Queensland Brine Solutions, recently established commercialization entity focused on advancing the objectives of Master Plan, a plan developed by Parkway to address the significant coal seam gas-derived waste, brine and salt challenges. Parkway Ventures holds a portfolio of project equity interests, including interest relating to a potash project. What is this acquisition they're doing? Is this going to transform the company? They've called it transformation. Leading industrial engineering solutions company, Tankweld. Quarter revenue of 2.28 million. So there's a bit of a difference between revenue and receipts. Underlying EBITDA positive by 0.44 million. Okay. Now I'm just going to have a look at this acquisition. And I'll just have a quick look at the half-year reports. Okay. Sometimes what I like to do, actually, if I just zoom in here, if you have a look at the product section, they've got a massive amount of products here. So maybe they've got a little bit too much going on here. A lot of services, a few solutions, lots of technologies, corporate profile. Let's have a look. Who's managing? About us, board of management. Stephen Van Der Sluis. Okay, so have a look at he's a non-executive chairman. Who's a CEO? Here he is. Bahai Oz. Oh, God, I'm going to absolutely butchered that name. Is that Turkish? Or is that sort of area of the world? Doesn't say here. So definitely, if you liking what you hear, I'll definitely have a look. Read the history of all these, the board managers and the CEO. That's exactly what I do. I definitely have a look at some of the services and solutions. I do like where they're in water solutions. It definitely is going to be a growing sector area over the next 5, 10, 20 or so years. So let's have a look at this tank weld. Provides a comprehensive one-stop shop for industry supplying complete engineering solutions from early concept and design phases through to workshop fabrication, installation, commissioning. Trusted partner for industry, regional water authorities and utilities, including Melbourne Water. Experienced workforce with 40 professional employees. Tankwell has experienced significant growth in recent years, 31% CAGR from financial year 23 to financial year 23 and generating in excess of $17 million in trading revenue financial year 23. So the growing company is a profitable, accretive acquisition, they're calling it. So let's have a look at the transaction terms. 650,000 cash already paid, 1.75 million loan settlement. Doesn't seem like there's some sort of performance-based consideration based off EBITDA and revenue targets. Transaction presentation. Okay, this is intriguing little company here. Parkway's acquired 100% of Tankweld. Talking about pathway to profitability, operating leverage, presentation, building an advanced industrial water treatment technology company. Markets, yep, that makes a lot of sense. Talking about total addressable market, but I sort of ignore that. Tech commercialization platform. It's a lot to look through when it comes to this company. It does, and the commercialization timetable. An overview of Tankweld. Okay, are they profitable? Business profitability, $2 million in normalized EBITDA. Timeline or rationale, capabilities. It does this actually, company does look or need a little bit more research, in my opinion. It does sound intriguing what they're doing. And based off the share price, I would say the chart does probably not look the best. So PWN, Parkway Corporate. Yeah, chart does not look the best. I would prefer the share price to be above 1 cent. So I think at this point in time, I would just be patient with this. I would just be patient. Share price, the lowest share price has been, looking at this chart goes back to the middle of 2021. So the last 3 years, the lowest share price has been is 0.7 cents. It's now 0.8 cents. So it doesn't mean this is going to be low. Share price can drop all the way to 0.1 cent if the market is not that convinced. Now, the other thing I want to do is just have a look at the valuation of this company. So 23.5 million, ordinary shares 2.77 billion. So they have a lot of shares on issue. And yeah, definitely a company, I think, to put on your watch list. And I don't think I have this company on my watch list. Let's have a look. I do. I've got in my professional services watch list. So I do have this company on my watch list, but I think it's just the chart. I've just seen the chart and went, no research on this company at this point in time. So thank you, Luca Brasi, for bringing a company I've never had a look at before, Parkway Corporation. It's what they're doing is intriguing, but just because what they do looks really interesting and intriguing doesn't mean the company will be successful. So I wouldn't call it a story stock. It's just above a story stock because what they're doing is revenue generating, but they do have to become profitable and they do have to become cash flow positive on a continuing basis. At this point in time, the market is not aware of this company or just not interested. And we need the market to be interested and aware of the company for the share price to go higher from here. But if you really love the company at 0.8 cents, yeah, maybe now's the time to, between 0.8 and 0.9, maybe now is the time to, own the company. It could be significantly higher in a few years if you're willing to be patient. I like the format of this daily rundown series. Would you also be keen to see your top 10 video, which I've done? It's not top 10, it's actually top 20. Yeah, top 20. Maybe I should have done top 25. Done it. I've actually released that video this morning. So I'm recording this video at 9:20 a.m. on Saturday, the 1st of June, and I've released that video like an hour ago. So have a look out for that video. Okay, maybe time for a few more. Thank you. Is a central place when one can find the reporting dates for all companies. As an example, which companies report March 24 and dates? Oh, yes. Okay, so America has a beautiful earnings calendar via NASDAQ. You can see which companies report. So, for instance, on Monday, the 3rd of June, we have all these companies reporting on that date. We don't have, I've not found a similar one on the ASX. However, when we do get to, say, July, earnings earnings calendar, no, earnings, is it earnings? No, results calendar, ASX. A lot of sites will have a calendar for only a portion of the year. So this time of year, I have not seen a calendar for the ASX. But if you do go to ComSec, I'm pretty sure they have a calendar. If you see ASX Online company reporting dates, that's not a calendar for all companies. It just said when companies have to report. Market Index. The ASX reporting season calendar to rule them all, released on the 2nd of February. So this is what you will see during February and August, is a list of all the companies reporting that time of the year for that month. You can find this easily online. But outside this period, I have not seen any sort of calendar for, say, May or November, which is sort of a secondary reporting season. I have not seen those calendars. So unfortunately, I have not seen it. But just because I have not seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So if anyone has seen a calendar, can you please write down in the comment section? Hey, hope you're all good with your health, Kneppy. Do trading till age 120. Who knows? I could live to 200, 300. I do believe there's going to be significant advances in aging over the next 5, 10, 20 years. In fact, a way the governments will get people to work longer is to put more not spending, but is to really, what's the word? Is to really promote companies in regards to aging, because with a fairly small birth rates, and if we don't really go to automation all that much, we will need people to work a little bit longer. So that's one thing the governments are doing, is to make sure we work longer. However, they can retire whenever they want. In fact, they have the best superannuation funds because that's what they decided for themselves. So you can just see, politicians only care about one thing, themselves. They have great retirement packages for themselves, not for everyone else. I'm a little bit unfair. That's not what I have said to people. I would love to be a politician for 1 year just to get their super. Okay, astronomic. Can't believe we bought a video on the same day. There you go. Is there a question here? No. Yeah, why not? Just talking about how video's doing really good. Hope you get well for your skin condition. Yes. Yes, it's all solved. I've now taken the bandages off. I had to leave it bandaged for a week and clean it every single day, but it's going good. Thank you, Joseph Fackle. Please check out MTH. Maybe this should be the last comment of the day. Oh yeah, this will be the last comment of this particular video. Please check out MTH. This is one company I don't know. MTH, Mithril Resources. Mithril Resources down 10.6%, so not a good day on a Friday. Let's have a look. First thing I always look at for these companies, drill program restart our Falcon. So I'm assuming this is an exploration company. They do have an investor presentation. I'll open that up. But let's have a look at the cash flow report. They do have a prospectus for some reason here. Is that because of completion of share consolidation? So let's have a look at the most recent Appendix 4C. Is this company a producing company? If it's not, it's a mining exploring company. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have much interest in exploring companies because it's just jackpot. It's just luck if they make it or not. It's just my opinion. And the way to play mining exploring companies is to have a basket of them. That's my opinion. So Mithril Resources, you can sort of tell straight away if it's an exploring versus production company, because if they're producing, they will say it straight away. And this company has not said anything about production. In fact, they're just talking about a capital raising. And I suppose if you go to the Appendix 4C, yeah, no cash receipts at all. Not a lot of spending either. So let's have a look at that presentation. What are they? Oh, silver mining. Oh, silver mining districts with high grade gold. Mexico. Oh, that's sort of a unique area. Developing a high margin company on Mexican silver and gold. I wonder if it's the costs in Mexico are much lower than other parts of the world, including Australia. You would think so, but not necessarily so. Markup cap is shares on this year only 84.6. Is this after the consolidation? Probably is. And share price of the market cap of this company was as high as 120 million back in 2020. Now it's, wonder why they're pointing out the market cap was 120 million dollars when the market cap right now looks like it's really, really low. We're talking about 5 million or something. MTH, what's the market cap? Let's have a look. 17.8 million. I was way off there. Just based off their chart, looks like it's really low, like 5 million. Talking about the project's history, goes all the way back to 1850. First mine in Colpolquin district. And I'm not sure if CEO managers are that important. The CEO has lots of extensive experience in gold, silver mine development, 15 years in Mexico. So at least he's experienced in that area. And yeah, just talking about how beneficial, how great Mexico is when it comes to silver and gold. But yeah, it's going to be a long, drawn-out process before I'd say this company gets to production, if it ever does get to production. Talking about their peers and comparing their peers and the valuation of the company, saying they are much cheaper based off resources, that sort of thing. You see this a lot in presentations like this, saying, look how cheap we are compared to our peers. And that's not necessarily a good thing. It's just the market doesn't think much of this company just now. So let's have a look at the chart for Mithril. And again, this is not a company for me because it's an exploring company and I'm out of exploring companies, completely out. And in fact, the chart looks absolutely horrific. Now, the share price did pop up on Wednesday, 22nd of May. Is that when they went in consolidation? Probably so. 22nd of May, let's have a look. Yeah, restatement to official quotation. So a lot of things happened with this company. In fact, they weren't trading for a long period of time. Yeah, for about 6 months, they weren't trading. All right. That's all I'm going to say about Mithril. Yeah, I have no interest. But just because I have no interest doesn't mean you can't. And that's all I'm going to have. So unfortunately, C9226, your question about my thoughts on hydrogen versus uranium, I will answer in the next answer and reply video. And someone asked about hydrogen. What else do we have here? ELF stands for eyes, lips, face. Oh, okay. Okay, so that was that ELF. Okay, so that's all I got for this video. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. See you later. Bye. And don't forget, I am not a financial advisor. And if you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.